channel. My name is Kaitlin, otherwise known as Kaitfaith, and I'm so excited that you joined me today. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about self-love. I'm going to show you some behind the scenes of me and my friend Maddie, we're both photographers, about what it was like for us to get in front of the lens instead of behind it. Show you how to be comfortable in front of the camera and how to just laugh at yourself and love yourself and show yourself a little self-love. And then I'm going to talk to you about 5 ways that you can practice self-love, ways that I've incorporated into self-love and caring for myself, and honestly just taking care of myself and my mental health. And I'm so excited to share that with you. So let's go ahead and get started.
Hello friends, so I am at the top of a parking garage and I am about to do a little photo session with my friend Maddie, and I'm so excited because I am going to give you all a little behind the scenes on what it's like for a photographer to be in front of the lens instead of behind it. So I'm super excited. That's what it's like to be behind the scenes of 2 photographers taking each other's pictures. I highly recommend, if you're a photographer, get you a bestie. Y'all go out once a month and just take headshots for each other because it's so much fun. One, you get to be super awkward and funny and get to make amazing photos for yourself, and you have stuff to post. So I literally had so much fun and I can't wait to show you all these pictures.
Before I get into my 5 tips, I just want to say that self-love is not loving yourself more than other people in a way that is cocky or selfish or anything like that. That's not the kind of self-love that I'm about to talk about. The kind of self-love that I'm about to talk about is the kind where you realize that you are a certain way and you accept that and you love yourself anyways. And everyone's different. Some people are super confident in themselves and some people aren't, and that's why I want to talk about this, because I've always been someone who is very confident in myself and I have always loved myself pretty well, but when I was younger I struggled with it a little bit, and I kind of have grown into this person that I'm super like carefree or whatever now, but I know that people struggle with that, and I just want to shine a light on you and let you know that your feelings are valid sometimes. When you're not loving yourself and you feel all of the negative things come up about you, your feelings are valid because you see everybody around you acting a certain way or being a certain way or doing something a certain way, and maybe you don't do it that way, maybe you don't act that way, maybe you don't look like they do. You know, like, your feelings are valid because in today's society it's inevitable that you're going to compare yourself to people and you're going to see people doing things that you wouldn't do or see people looking a way that you don't look. And you know what? Like, everyone's different. It's okay to notice those things. But what I want to tell you today is that it's okay to validate those feelings, but I want to show you how to take those feelings and turn them into loving yourself instead of comparing yourself or thinking of yourself in a negative light, because I don't want anyone to ever feel like they are less than someone else, and I don't want you to ever feel like you are greater than someone else either. I just think that self-love is important to have because you need to know your worth. And your worth is like up here. Like, you are amazing and you are so worthy, and you know, like, you're awesome, and I want you to know that. So today I'm pretty much just gonna talk about your feelings and how you can turn negative feelings into positive feelings, and how you can love yourself better, how you can take care of yourself better, all of those things. So tip number 1 is to just laugh at yourself. For instance, when me and Maddie were in front of the camera, we felt awkward at first. Everyone feels awkward when they're in front of the camera, when they're around people they don't know. Any situation like that, it feels kind of awkward. So you're like, I'm weird, I'm not funny, okay, this is weird, I'm acting strange, whatever. Laugh at yourself. It's not that big of a deal that you feel awkward or that like you're uncomfortable or whatever. Like, don't think of yourself as like awkward and, you know, I can't do anything. Like, no, just laugh at yourself in any situation, whether you're around people that you don't know, if you're in front of the camera, whatever it is, just be comfortable enough to laugh at yourself and know that you're not alone, because you're not the only person that feels that way. You're not the only person that's awkward in front of a camera. As a matter of fact, everyone that I talk to is like, I'm not so great in front of a camera. Honey, nobody is. Everyone says that literally, but once you get in front of it and like you are able to just like laugh and have fun and like just be yourself, it all fixes itself and you feel better about yourself. So number 1 tip for self-love is to just be able to laugh at yourself and have fun with yourself and love yourself in a way that you know that you are gonna have flaws, but it's funny and everyone has them and it's okay. So number 2 is to stop criticizing yourself. And I say that in a way that is very light, because it's hard to stop criticizing yourself because you're surrounded by girls who are a certain size and look a certain way. They're a certain skin tone or whatever, and you might be completely different than them, and you look at them and you're like, oh, I wish I looked like them. And you know, that's okay to a certain extent. But it's not okay when you look at them and you're like, oh, my legs are fat. Oh, my hair's so ugly compared to hers. Oh, my face does not have the pretty bone structure that hers has. Or, oh, I'm not as skinny as her. Instead of criticizing yourself based on her appearance, why not just say, hey girl, you look great, or hey girl, your hair is awesome. Who does it? Or hey girl, whatever, like whatever compliment you can give her, and then just think, oh, you know, that's awesome that she does that. And don't criticize yourself based on someone else, because we're all different. We are all different. Like, the Lord put us all here, and there is not one of us who is alike. You are not physically, mentally, or emotionally, or anything like that. You are in no way, shape, or form exactly like another person. And that's just reality. It's okay for that person to be a little skinnier than you. It's okay for that person to be a little tanner than you. It's okay for that person to be a little shorter than you or a little taller than you. Whatever. Stop criticizing yourself because someone else looks more magazine worthy. Because I can tell you that magazine worthy girls don't exist. We all have flaws. We all have flaws. And you're looking at that girl and you haven't seen the parts of her that you see of yourself. And all I can tell you is that she could even be looking back at you and thinking the exact same thing. So stop criticizing yourself. Instead, just encourage other girls and then tell yourself something good about yourself. That is the best advice I can give you for, honestly, just your confidence and feeling good about your worth, is to praise yourself about something, praise her about something, and never even let a negative thought about your hair or your body or your tan or what you eat or what boyfriend you have or whatever. Don't let that cross your mind, because the Lord has a different purpose for each one of us. He gave us each a different body, a different brain, a different everything, and we're gonna be different, and there is absolutely no reason that you should look at somebody else and criticize yourself based on their appearance or what they have, because whoever that person is probably going through the exact same thoughts that you are probably having. So that is my tip number 2, is to just stop criticizing yourself, because all you're doing is bringing yourself down. It's not worth it in the end. At the end of the day, it is not worth it to criticize yourself. So please don't criticize yourself, because I promise there's a better way to do it. And instead of criticizing yourself, praise yourself. Give yourself a compliment. Tell yourself something that you're good at. Remind yourself that you have good things. Don't think about your flaws in comparison to someone else, because everyone has flaws. You just might not see them. So, tip number 3 is to take care of your body. So this is a really important one to me for so many reasons, and honestly, I just love self-care. Self-care is amazing. I love to take bubble baths, I love to do face masks, I love to get my hair done, I love to do all the things. But I'm not just talking about the things that make you feel good for a little bit. I'm talking about the things that are going to affect you long term. What you put in your body is going to affect how you feel about the outside of your body, and it's going to reflect on the outside of your body. And I know this firsthand because I'm super passionate about nutrition. I love reading up on nutrition, and I feel like I know it so well, but I don't always do well at it. But I know that when I do, I feel so good about myself. I love myself so much more when I'm putting healthy stuff into my body. I'm talking vitamins, healthy food such as like greens, and you're getting the proper fiber and carbs and healthy fats and protein and all of that stuff. I love myself so much more when I'm taking care of my body in terms of my health. The same thing goes with drinking water, and that might sound crazy, but the more water you drink, the more hydrated you are, which is going to reflect on the outside of your body because your skin's going to glow, you're not going to have as bad acne, you're not going to feel as like blah, because you're not going to be dehydrated, and in general, you're just going to feel better about yourself because you're hydrating yourself. And like, who doesn't feel good when you're hydrated? I truly love nutrition and I love water, and I think those are two big things that play a huge part in taking care of your body. And even though I totally understand where the struggle is, that is one of my biggest struggles because I love chocolate, I love dessert, I love all the things, but I truly believe that the more healthy food you put in your body, the better you're going to feel about yourself, the better you're going to physically feel because your stomach's not going to hurt all the time. You're going to feel thinner just because you're not eating crappy food and you don't feel bloated all the time. And in general, you are just going to feel better about yourself because you know that what you're putting in your body is fueling your body instead of just making you feel like crap. And going with that, that means that exercising is important. And this one is one I really struggle with because your girl, I grew up exercising all the time. I stopped when I went to college and I did it a little bit here and there, and I had a back injury that basically kept me from going to the gym for a while, and since then I just kind of got lazy, and I'm gonna like firmly admit that. I went back to the gym about a year and a half ago. I started doing CrossFit, and when I was doing that, I felt so good about my body. I felt so strong, and when you feel strong, there's just something about it that like you just feel good about yourself and you just love yourself a little more. It doesn't matter what the scale says or any of that. Like when you are actually like just exercising and lifting weights and running and stuff like that, like you just feel better. The more that you go consistently, the better you're going to feel about yourself, and you're going to make it a habit, and you're going to make it a habit to love yourself because you're just going to feel better about yourself. And of course, there's always the typical self-care. You can take bubble baths, you can do face masks, you can put on makeup, you can take off your makeup, you can relax on the couch and watch TV, you can hang out with your dogs, you can go for a walk. I feel like everyone is different when it comes to self-care, but whatever you do that just makes you feel good and you can clear your headspace and you can just feel in the moment and just relax, do it more often. Make time for yourself like once a week. Make time for yourself once every 2 weeks. It doesn't have to be like it doesn't have to be every day, but it also doesn't need to be like once every 5 months because it's gonna be no good for you to just do it once every 5 months because in between those 5 months, you're gonna feel awful. So just be sure to be taking care of your body because the more you take care of your body, eat healthy, exercise, drink water, take bubble baths, go shopping, whatever makes you feel good, just do it and you'll feel much, much better. Number 4 is my second favorite one. I'm kind of doing these in like order of my favorites. So like from last to first. So my first one was laugh at yourself. My second one was stop criticizing yourself. The third one was take care of your body. And the fourth one, and one of my most favorites, is to surround yourself with people who are going to love on and encourage you. This is so important, and I have learned this over the last few years, that if you surround yourself with people who are bringing you down or who are constantly negative or who are just all around like not fun people to be around, you're gonna feel exactly like that. One of the best things that I ever did was gain a friend who was so much like me, but also came into my life and just straight up loved on me and encouraged me like no one else had. And it just so happens that it's Maddie, who was in the video, and she was dancing it up with me in front of the camera. And honestly, I think the Lord knew that I needed her when I got her, because I have never had a friend who has loved on and encouraged me more than Maddie has. And I want you to have that friend. Find you someone who is going to love on and encourage you like no other, because the more someone is encouraging you and reminding you of your worth and reminding you of how awesome you are and praising you for the things that you're accomplishing and just all of the things, the more that you have that in your life, the better that you're gonna feel about yourself. And the more you're just gonna love yourself, because you realize that you're accomplishing things and you have worth and you are loved and you are important to the Lord and you have a purpose. And that's the biggest thing, is find a friend who knows that you have a purpose and who constantly reminds you what that purpose is, because we are all here for a purpose. Some of our purposes are a little bit different and look a little bit different, but at the end of the day, we all have a purpose in this world, and you need someone who constantly reminds you of that, because a lot of times what we do is we get down on ourselves because we feel like we're just stuck and we don't have a purpose, and like, what's the point? And you know, like, we all get those feelings. I've had those feelings, and honestly, it sucks. Like, it really sucks to feel that way. But if you have a friend who's constantly encouraging you and loving on you, and someone who you can truly explain your feelings to, and who can come back and just give you advice and maybe cry with you or encourage you or whatever that moment needs, having that friend is the absolute best thing you can do for yourself, honestly. It is so important for you to have someone, or even multiple someones, who can just love on you and encourage you and pour into your life in a positive way and remind you of your worth and your purpose and how awesome you are. And that is something I truly believe in. I have more than just Maddie. I just mentioned her because she's in the video and she doesn't mind me mentioning her. But I have a few more friends who are just amazing at that, and I can go to them and they can just pour into my life and give me advice. And I truly believe that that if you have someone who does that for you, that the more you're gonna love yourself and you're just gonna appreciate the person that you are and know your purpose and know your worth a little better. Tip number 5 is my absolute favorite, and it is the one that means the absolute most, and that is to find your worth in Jesus. And this is just honestly the truth. And you can do all of the other things. You can take bubble baths, you can eat avocados, you can run 3 miles, you can do whatever you want, but if you are not finding your worth in Jesus and you're not reading your Bible and meditating on the Word, you are not gonna have that true worthy feeling, and like, you're not gonna feel that actual love, because you can't love yourself until you know how much Jesus loves you. And that's honestly just the truth. And I truly believe that the Lord put us each here for a purpose. And He shows us in His Word so many times that we are so worthy. And one of the biggest things that I think that contributes to negativity and low self-esteem is finding your worth in everything else. One of the top things that women find their worth in is a man. And I could understand this because I'm a woman, and naturally, like, my husband, when I first met him, it was really hard to not try to find your worth in him, because you're constantly looking for validation, and you're looking for, tell me I'm beautiful, and tell me I'm amazing, and what do you love about me, and blah, blah, blah. It's really hard when you're a woman not to try to find your worth in a man. However, the Lord tells us that we don't need to find our worth in men. We don't need to find our worth in our job. We don't need to find our worth in our friendships or anything like that. We don't find our worth in this world because this world sucks, and this world is not made for us. We are not of this world. We are not meant to be anything like the world, and anything that the world does, we're not of it. And so when we're trying to find our worth in worldly things, at the end of the day, we're not gonna feel worthy. We're not gonna feel that self-love, because all we're gonna feel is down. And all of the things that I talked about previously were more worldly things. And at the end of the day, those things are gonna help contribute to your self-love, but they're not gonna truly help you find your worth if you're not finding that in Jesus. One of the best ways to do that is to meditate on the Word. I believe that the Word is truth, and it is absolute truth. And whenever I read it, it just reminds me that I am worthy, and that the Lord chose me, and that He loves me, and He loves me enough to die on the cross for me and to literally come to this world. And I just think that's amazing. One of the best ones is Psalm 139:13. And it says, "For you formed my inward parts. You knitted me together in my mother's womb. I praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made." And that truly just hits home for me. Like, that is all I need, because that shows you that the Lord literally knitted you together. And He knew about you before your mother did. He knew about you before your father did. He knew you before you even existed. And He knitted you together in such a way that you could come into this world and live for His purpose for your life. And that, to me, is just absolutely incredible. And that just makes me feel so loved and so special. Like, the Lord thought specifically about me, knitted me together in my mother's womb, gave me these talents and this personality and all these things, and He made me wonderfully. I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. And that is just incredible to me. And that is one of the biggest verses that encourages me to just truly feel great and know my worth, because the Lord loves me that much. I just want you to know that self-care and self-love is more than just bubble baths and face masks and chilling with your candles lit. It is loving yourself and laughing at yourself and not criticizing yourself and taking care of your body and surrounding yourself with people who are going to love you and remind you of your worth and show you and encourage you about the things that matter and about the things about you that are so amazing, and they're going to lift you up and they're going to encourage you. They're also going to be honest with you about certain things, and they're going to tell you when your feelings are completely wrong, and they're going to tell you when your feelings are valid. And lastly, you need to find your worth in Jesus, because self-care, you can do all the things. Like I said, you can eat avocados, you can exercise, you can go to the gym every day, you can go to the gym twice a day, you can light candles, you can take bubble baths, you can do all those things. But at the end of the day, if you're not meditating on the Word and you're not finding your worth in Jesus, you're gonna feel like crap, and you're gonna feel bad about yourself, and you're never gonna get rid of those constant feelings and those constant thoughts that just cloud your mind and tell you that you're not good enough and that you're not worthy and that you don't have worth and that you're not loved, because you are loved. You are loved by the most amazing being in the universe, and He created you and He put you here for a purpose. And I just truly want you to know that He loves you. And that is the reason that you should love yourself, because you are important to the Lord. You have a purpose in this world, and you are worthy, you are loved, and you are amazing. And I just know it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Give it a like if you really enjoyed it, and leave a comment down below. Tell me what you loved best about my video. Leave me a comment down below letting me know what else you want to hear from me, because I'm up for all the talks. I could talk to a wall, seriously. So leave me a comment down below letting me know more video ideas, more things you want me to talk about. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because I upload new videos every Monday, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!